Hello everyone, Kenty Tiger here with Bengali Engineering and Play. We are back in the Last Caretaker. So this is a currently demo version game. The early access game will be released on the 6th of November. 06 November. Goes early access and I can barely wait, I admit. So we are starting back in here. If you remember from last episode, we were here on the roof. We're going to do a couple things on the roof. I just dropped the chairs down here, so if you remember. And we're going to do the last of the cleanup up here. So, roof. So this roof over here has stuff on it. I've already cleaned that off, but don't forget that when you're up here. There's a bunch of stuff back here that you want to clean up. So there's stuff there, stuff on the roof, and then there's stuff on the roof here. So we're going to clean all of this up. So that's a number 7 for me, the dismantler. So you remember in the terminal, you go to security and you can access the cameras. Here's the camera. You can grind that around. That would be kind of fun. Nope. All right, over here. Now, there are things. So we're going to come back to this. But whenever you see these ladders, there is loot somewhere down that ladder, probably. So, in the little tunnel back here, got the medium battery there. Those are wonderful. I think they're like 100 watt hours or something like that. The normal batteries that you get right at the beginning, all the ones up here are those medium batteries, so you kind of see them everywhere. But the ones down below I think are like 30 watt hours, so they're nothing. Okay, let's go ahead and go to this one. That's frustrating. Enter the ladder, but don't jump off the side because don't know. All right, so we opened the doors, we headed up, right? So we didn't do that many things, at least that I recall. So try again. Up the stairs. I don't think we have anything here. I checked in here, even though that was nothing. All right, so we're back to the very end of this one. Okay, just gonna let this go. Alright, we'll throw the chairs down again. actually see it. There's stuff up here on the roof, so basically you go here, jump, and then you can get the stuff off the roof. And there's also a bunch of stuff in the back over here. So a lot of stuff, a lot of materials you can salvage. Yeah, salvage. That's it. Technically, if you're on the only living one, you're not pirating anything. Arguably, you don't own it, so maybe you are a robot pirate. Pirate caretaker. Alright, try it again. Enter. S for down. So that was a turn and spacebar to technically jump, but you're jumping off the platform. Or jumping off the ladder, rather. So I'm curious, I don't know if I hit the platform. Maybe it was just the height of the fall. Yeah, I guess it was just the height of the fall. Alright, so stuff. I'm going to save first, and then we're going to come back up here. There's a method to the madness. The reason I'm doing this is there are some secret rooms. So I always get worried about the, phasing through stuff. Okay, down we go. The doors, of course, are open. So this goes up here. So I kind of call this my office, even though it's there's really no easy way to organize, because once I start bringing stuff in, I put shelves in here and all that sort of thing, so it gets a little disorganized. But anyway, yeah, but we'll fix it. We'll get there. We got a lot to do before that. All right, I'm gonna because there was all the stuff that we did up topside, deposit all that. So 0.8 kilograms at a time. 5 on this side and almost 6 on that side. So let's go ahead and add over here. So copper and iron are the heaviest, yep, so we're not enough to really fill out. All right, so we'll go up, charge, save, and then we'll go back up to the grill because there's something I want to try. Now, for those of you who've seen me play in other games, I'm really terrible about the jumpy stuff. You know, walking around and everything I do pretty good, but you know, jumping onto, you know, platforms that are a centimeter wide and all that sort of thing, really difficult for me. Not my normal style of gaming. Over here, in the corner, there is a staircase going down. We're going to go down, go across. Okay. There's this here, so we're going to dismantle this because this is plastic. And then we're going to do the interesting tightrope walk. Now, remember that creature was here, the octopus thing was there. All the way across, and allegedly you can jump up here. Not what I wanted to do. So allegedly there's a ledge over there, which this is exactly why I say it. So how do you get to that particular thing? Alright, so round 2. Just climbing across the deck, there's so much crap. Alright, up we go. So the irony, when I was active duty, I was an electronics technician. I did radars. I did radars and comms, both, but mostly radars. Of course, the radars are way, way up on the mast, and the very highest thing was called TACAN, Tactical Air Navigation. It was the highest antenna. I was the tech for that. So, I'm acrophobic. So, the acrophobic guy, who's the radar tech, who is on the very tallest surface of the ship. Imagine that. Alright, how do I do this? Maybe back up just a little bit, and then, what? Run and jump? That's going to take a little bit of practice. That's the anchor cable. Come on. I'm calling this the office. It's I suppose it can be the office. too. Well, it's one of those, you know, kind of semi-glitchy things that I threw them both. I don't know what happened. Well, this is ultimately going to be... Whoops. Dangerous robot. Alright. That's there. Blue chair. I don't really need blue chairs, but everything in here is out of the blue. Yeah. Right. I was going to do this, you know. I'm having trouble. First down legs. So ultimately this is going here in the corner, but you know, mattress and everything, so I really... Alright. Put chest there, and ultimately another one of the rest frames will go here, table, you know, all that sort of stuff. And then these ultimately are going to go down the room. I just want to get them kind of semi out of the way. And then go back up to the roof. I guess that's already mostly out of the way. Alright. Alright. Nothing there. Alright. So, as I was roaming around, so that corner, that down there, so allegedly, might be able to see it here, I don't know. Nope, can't. I guess not. So anyway, there's that little alcove there that supposedly there's stuff there. I'm just not talented enough to jump it. So nothing of note over here. This is your hangar. Oh, sorry, the hangar's over this way. Hangar doors. All right, basketball court. So there's a lot of loot down here, stuff you can grind away, and of course the basketball hoop. And you really can play basketball. A little bit difficult, but you can do it. Excuse me. All right, on we go. This goes down to the water. Now, there's another secret entrance down here. So if you're coming up, you can see it. So basically you jump off the ladder into the window, which is really weird, and there's stuff in there. So yet another place for enemies. Nothing really here in the corner, nothing up top, even though you can go up here. There's a, let's just go there. Pictures worth 1,000 words. So we'll go up, and then there's a ladder over here and a platform. So this is a hole going down. So just when you jump off, you want to jump, this is right, so you have a little bit of room on it. Okay, so other than that, I don't think there's anything there. So, I don't know. Alright, the last thing we are going to salvage up here is plastic. There is quite a bit of stuff on this roof, so it's kind of one of those things that you're going to probably be an hour up here, I guess, by the time it's all done. And we have one area behind the building there, which we'll, work our way back to. Not sure what those lines are on the graphic. Probably just strange artifacts that are happening. I may need to update the graphics drivers on this machine. So we started in back here, and I don't remember what I got distracted doing. Medium battery there. I mentioned that already. So that should be about it on the roof. So we can put this away. I can charge in here. So what I'm going to do is turn this on. Interact. Dump all the deposit. Deposit all trash. Charge while the recycler is recycling. So the fabricator does use quite a bit of power, and the recycler uses quite a bit of power. So you notice how much it slowed down there. Alright, on the plus side, that was pretty much the last of the stuff here, so we're going to go ahead and close that down. Close the door just because I will likely not be back up here again. So we're going to close this door as well. It shouldn't really matter. Okay, I'm not sure what's provided this thing. So I'm going to leave these. So again, if we were playing the real game, I would be dismantling all of this stuff. So all the solar panels, because we could use some of that stuff on the ship. I would be taking all of these out because cables are cables, right? So we close this door. I would take all the cables out all the way here. Everything would go. But there's not really any reason to do that in this case, because we're not going anywhere, because we can't. So there's a certain distance you can get away from this building, and it will yell at you. If you proceed any further, the game will end. Alright, so we're back over here. So, up on the table, and challenging for me. So, oops, I should have shown you over here. Now my torch is not on, but it's well lit. So nothing here. All the way to the end, and I don't see anything up there, so nothing here. But never fear. Remember the caution tape stuff. You might notice, hey, look, caution tape. Let me turn my torch on. Grates. So we're gonna take off the grate. Both comes down at once. Bad thing. Okay, I'm gonna go carry these over because salvage. Because. Beam. Take that too. Or you can just grind it right here. What you want to do. Almost didn't make it. Now, if I rotate around here, I may be able to actually get that onto the ship. I have no idea if I got on the ship or if it bounced off. I have no idea. Alright, let's go back to this. So I was babbling about acrophobia. So the robot walking across things, I actually am full of anxiety when I walk across those things, even though I'm sitting in my chair. Okay, so a lot of things to loot here, including the little teddy bear there. Remember, these are rich in components, so I'm going to go ahead and grind all of this stuff. Carry this out because this is like the table that I couldn't find before. Alright, there's a gap. I'm going to see where the ship is in relation to the gap. There it is. Alright, run, 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 jump. So we got a teddy bear, that's more memories. And look, we have a mystery box. So this is more memories. Right, medium battery. And this guy, because these are resource rich. Alright, my boat's right here. So I'm just going to do that. Exactly the ideal place, but hey, and jump. This right here. Because is a thing. This is why this shit frustrates me. Jump? What? You know, what the hell are you supposed to do here besides jump? God damn it. This kind of shit frustrates the crap out of me. Because jump sideways. You're going forward, but jump fucking sideways. Oh. I know some people find that to be easy. I find it to be frustrating as fuck. Why do you design shit like that? Just to piss people off. There's a lot of gamers out there who just, that's nothing. You know, to me it's frustrating because you should just be able to jump and jump. But no. You have to do some special whatever the hell it is. In my opinion, it makes the game very unfun. When you just can't do something because you can't do it. Doesn't matter what controls you're using. You jump forward, but you go sideways. I mean, what the hell is that? Okay, I guess this can go in here. Okay, we finished above. We finished way above. So all things considered, it's time to move the ship, and then we'll get the last of the stuff on the other side. So mooring, drop, mooring, drop it, Q, so E to pick it up, Q to get rid of it. We're gonna do a thing. So that cable, we're actually going to just drop the cable, but I'm gonna jump up here. I'm actually going to put a put one of these right here on the edge because this is where my shore power is going to come in. So then we'll take the cable, grab cable. That way that's there ready to go at any time if I were coming back here. Alright. So this is connected in. We're going to do a lot of stuff here. We're going to put two whispers, which are the small winter rides back here. And then two more over here. We're going to put three on the bow on both sides. So basically three bow starboard and three bow port. Alright, so we're going to move the ship. So we have taken up our mooring lines. Or if I'm being absolutely correct, taken in all mooring lines. I have no idea where that beam went. No idea. Alright, this is the diamond. Close. See this. Go. All right, anchors. So your anchor button is here. We kind of went through the dash and everything. I want to do one more thing. Yeah, we're going to do one more thing. Interestingly, we are burning. We're using a lot of power. I don't know why we're using a lot of power. I'm going to lift the anchors just because that takes a little bit of time, so you can see they're rolling there. But I'm going to go down here to the bottom because why am I using so much power? Oh, the reason I'm using so much power is because I'm no longer connected to shore power. So this can come back here. We'll grab the robot buggy. Ah, damn it. So where the hell did that come from? That's completely unexpected. Okay. So toggle switch. So the red came on here. Diesel engine on, diesel engine off. The reason I turn the diesel engine off is because I have no way to create more diesel fuel. So it's literally the 2,000 gallons I have in the tank, the 600 gallons that I have, liters, that I have in the tank, and 600 liters that I have in the small tanks. That's it. That's all the diesel I have. So the nice thing about the electric engine is realistically you have an infinite amount of electricity. You may have to conserve here and there, but you have an abundance of it. You can recharge your batteries, so you can really go forever on your electric engine. Now, you're not going to go very fast, but you can go. You're never going to be stranded because you always have electric for your electric engine. So I turn the diesel off simply because I have a finite amount of diesel. Eventually I will turn that on because once I have a source of diesel, then I can use that. All right, back to the bridge. So I have no idea where that sweetheart came from. I have no idea why there would all of a sudden be a sweetheart here. That doesn't make any sense. Random. Okay, the game is being really wonky because that is right here. I may have to do a reload. This is not behaving reasonable at all. That's there, really? Okay, so that's working. Alright, I've got stuff, so I'm just gonna dump it. So this is all going out here. So memory and memory, right? So I'm going to go put these in my memorabilia box, which is in here. So that goes here, Q and Q, and then this stuff will then go into the normal boxes. Eventually, of course, all this stuff will end up there. Oops, boxes. So deposit similar, which all in. All right, back to the bridge. So another naval terminology. Technically, bridge and pilot house are used interchangeably. Now, if you're totally old school, this is a pilot house, not a bridge. But it kind of depends on what era you were on. Yeah, we're burning through a little bit of electricity there. All right, pilot boat. You see the E there at the bottom. So E, I am now piloting the boat. F will exchange camera views. All right, so I'm gonna go forward a little bit. Now you have to have a little bit of prop wash here. So what I'm gonna do is turn. Because I'm right up against the pier, it's gonna do weird things. No, you're not going to move very fast because there's only 2 cylinders. Normally I create a couple extras and we're going to do that, but alright, so we're going to straighten up here. We're going to ultimately get out, and then we're going to maneuver, and then come back in. So we're going to finish. So we got that bottom one there, and then we're ready. Open the doors and sail out.
This vessel is more than just machinery. It's your refuge, your home now. Sail forth, caretaker. Reclaim the waters humanity once commanded.
Full. I don't think anything fell over. I wasn't sure I've got enough thrust to move the ship with those 2 cylinders, but I am finally gaining just a little bit. So the idea is that we want to be under that catwalk. That way we can just literally dump stuff over the side. So that's the goal. All right, you're a boat in the water. The water is not the most solid thing ever. So we're forward full. Slow us down. And we're back a quarter. Missed that beam, I hope. Alright, so we're going to come back until we have the bow there. Oh, that's close. Oh, that's close. Alright, spacebar is anchors, and I think, unfortunately, it gets to that strange place where you can't get to zero throttle, so it's kind of weird. Alright, E will escape you from piloting. So anchored, so you see your anchor lights are on. We're still at 100%, so I didn't take any damage by scraping against that beam. So, there it is. So we're close enough now, we can just literally drop stuff over the side and it should be alright. Especially if we come down to that second platform. Alright, so let me get the shelf. This shelf is technically going to go in here. This guy, I guess we can put this inside here. We already got 4 on. Having trouble on new legs. The couch just goes here in the corner, and then another couch goes over here. The other shelf, though, did I put? Oh, there it is. So these other 2 shelves go down to the engine room here. Not how I was intending to get it to the engine room, but okay. So I'm just going to put this next to the engine for now. Grab the other one just to get it out of the way. I guess it won't really matter. It's up forward. So what I wanted to do is just to make sure this area here is clear. Now the downside is you don't have a railing. So if you get things moving too fast, they just skate right across the deck and into the drink over here. Not sure what that is. I have no idea what that is. Oh, this is this phantom, I think. I do that. So that's technically not really there. So there you can see how the prop and the rudder works. So the prop is actually on that rudder, and then the rudder shifts all the way sideways. 90 degrees quarter starboard, which is actually, strangely enough, called right rudder or left rudder. Let's see what we got here. There's the stern. I'm just going to drop. Okay, there used to be 3 of these. Now there's only 2. Oh, I think I did carry one. think I did end up with one inside. Alright, this table. Actually, I want the table up front here because it's going into the office. Where is this up front? Alright, so that was all that stuff. Now is all this stuff. Stoof. Alright, couches. Oops. So this one goes to the pilot house. So drop it right on the rail here. Well, that one will go in the pilot house. Because I want a box up there anyway. Next. This is the challenge of getting it through the door. The beds are even worse. Alright, I threw one of them there, so these two go to my quarters. So I can drop these on. So the stern or the fantail is the two terms for the stern of the ship. So technically the stern of the ship is the stern of the ship. This area would be the fantail. Okay, one more couch. Wow, is that gonna stay? No. Maybe it is. Nope. Nope. This is so much easier that I don't have to walk all the way around that corner. Alright, battery. And carry on. I suppose I could have just come right back to that one thing and alright, maybe I didn't have more. I don't know. Did that just hit vanish? I guess it is there. I don't know if that phased through the deck or not, but Alright, so technically I don't think I need I don't think I need that other table because I just pitched that table. Oh, actually that table's, that's, yeah, that's a diamond plate, but, well, I have it, so I'll bring it out. I can always scrap it later. Arguably it won't matter because this is a demo. So, allegedly our save games, I know I said this already, our save games will not carry through. And I'm actually glad because, I mean, I've done an awful lot of scrapping. So, you know, really, all that experience points is gone. So that would be a lot of valuable experience points that I would have before I'd ever leave here. Anyone really, you know, it's all good stuff. All right, so this is going to go on the bow because this is going to go into the office there because blue. Pillows, and then we're down to the rest frames. Because of course these go in my quarters. Okay, I managed to not get anything in the drink. Fee. Right, and then, so the good news is both of these bed things go out here. So both of them go onto the bow. I mean, one of them goes in the office, but, or what I'm calling the office. So this is back to the same challenge we faced downstairs, is get, oh, look at that. You know, getting them out the door, because they're the same width as the door. All right, so we go up, over the rail, and then in this case we send this there. One more, and then we are pretty much done. Office. I don't want to hit the sleeping bag there. Oh, hopefully that doesn't go on the side. Can't see it. I hope it didn't go over the side. That would suck. Alright, so effectively not a whole lot left up here. Technically I could shut this off, which is just the lights over here, and then everything else is done. Cleared out everything below, we cleared out everything here, we cleared out all up on top here. So now literally we are course I would come up behind the ladder, because why not? Alright, so this flip over sideways and haul it down. Yeah, so there was that one here. Alright, so we'll just get these few things in, and then we'll call this episode done. Mostly just to kind of get them out of the way. Alright, so this goes over here in the corner. Trouble. Alright, and then we grab the frame and go sideways. Of course, slides off. Of course it does. Alright, that's about where that goes. I'm going to grab this. Actually, I'm going to grab it here and see if I can drag it up there. Physics with a sleeping bag make any sense at all. There we go, kind of. Alright, we're gonna call that good. Alright, my table goes in here. It's just a matter of getting it out of this area. F to rotate. We'll get it up here against the bulkhead. Because. There we go, close enough. That works. Alright, and then sideways. These are a little tricky because they don't like standing. I have to stop and charge. Alright, I think we'll go up, heal, and then do save, and then we'll call it. Alright, we'll go topside. Got most of the stuff out of the way. Kind of interesting being on a ship, and I kind of revert to all naval terminology, probably to the confusion of many of my watchers, because I didn't normally use naval terminology, mostly because I don't know that I've actually played a game where I was on a ship other than, you know, Space Engineers and Galactic or Empyrean. So obviously those are ships, but space ships, but still ships. So all right. So this is eventually going to go here, but we'll do a lot of the cleanup and such in the next episode. So we've saved, we've done all the good stuff. So we'll call it good here. So thank you for watching. This is Kenty Tiger signing off, and we'll catch you next time.